So you're thinking of moving to Dallas, Texas from California. Well, right after this, we're getting right into it, so stay tuned. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Living in Dallas, Texas. I am Darius Holmes. Now, have you been thinking about lower taxes, cheaper cost of living, and more personal space? Well, if so, it's time to join the thousands of other Californians who are fleeing the Golden State for greener pastures right here in Dallas, Texas. The Lone Star State is one of the most popular inbound states in the country for many excellent reasons, like several booming metropolitan areas, lower cost of living, no income taxes, incredible employment opportunities, and a robust economy, just to name a few. But before you pack up and hit the road to Texas, join the ranks of fellow Californians moving to Texas, there are some things you should know. California and Texas go head to head against each other as two of the largest states when it comes to size and population. But other than that, that's about it. From cost of living to culture, these two states have several differences, but I will say both are great places to live. Now, if you're considering making a move from California to Texas, here's what you need to know before you make that leap. Alright, let's start out with cost of living. California is significantly more expensive place to live than Texas is. Childcare, healthcare, shelter, food, transportation, and others. California is more expensive across the board. Now let me give you an example. For a family of 2 adults and 2 children living in California, it takes an earned income of approximately $79,000 to cover all the necessary living expenses. Now for that same family right here in Texas, the wage calculator predicts they would only need a salary of $61,000 to pay those same living expenses. But it's important to recognize that circumstances are essential here. Expenses can vary wildly depending on where in these states you decide to settle down. For example, living in urban Austin is far more expensive than living in a more rural town. So make sure you evaluate your expenses, income, and the cost of living in your transplant city before making a move. Second up, the job market and economy. Now, California and Texas have 2 of the largest economies in the United States. Now, if they were sovereign countries, California would be the 5th largest economy in the world, while Texas will rank as the 10th largest. Now, both states' economies are comprised of a diverse set of industries and enjoy lower unemployment rates and high job growth rates. Now, just a few years back, California's job growth was just 2.1% compared to the Lone Star State's 2.7% growth. Now, just as of recent, Texas' unemployment rate was just 4%, while California's was 4.2%. Texas has several booming and diverse industries that fuel its economy, including technology, agriculture, energy. We all know oil and gas is a powerhouse here, and healthcare, just to name a few. No matter what type of job you're seeking, chances are there's a place for you to pursue your chosen career right here in the Lone Star State of Texas. Alright, third on the list, Texas is more affordable than California. MIT's Index of Living Wages evaluates the cost according to 6 criteria like housing, childcare, and Texas routinely beats out California in every metric. Now, costs can vary depending on the city or town you live in, but Texas tends to be cheaper across the board. A big part of this comes down to the state's lack of income tax. Now, California, by comparison, has some of the highest income tax rates in the country. Damn! And while the cost of living is lower in Texas, the household incomes are still relatively high. Now, a recent study found that 3 Texas metro areas occupy the top 10 list for highest average household income in the country. Okay, that sounds good, but what are the top benefits of moving from California to Texas? Now, I'm gonna sum that up in one sentence. It just makes good business sense. Texas' approach to taxation affects more than just personal finances. The state is famously friendly to business interests. While this means that the state offers a minimum wage on par with the Fed rate, it's a great place to settle down if you're an entrepreneur also. Many businesses are privileged with a tax rate as low as 0.5% and 1% as standard for franchise operations. Now you guys see what Elon Musk is doing, and if you didn't know, check this video out right here. Now back in the day, oil and drilling carried Texas economy, but today it enjoys a more diversified economy. The IT, healthcare, education, tourism, and banking are all major industries that play a part in Texas' low unemployment rates. Now I get a lot of you guys asking me what the culture is like here. Well, I'm gonna tell you, the culture is loud and vibrant. Southern hospitality is well and alive here in Texas. You can expect friendliness from most Texans along with a bit of pride. Now after all, everything is more significant and better in the Lone Star State. While the state has southern roots, Texas also shares a border with Mexico, which means Mexican culture is an intricate part of Texas heritage. You can look forward to a diverse geography. Its beach culture defines California, but it's not much harder to pin down the geographic identity of Texas. That's in large part because of how big the state is. A trip across the countryside will present you with everything from hot mountains to fields of farmlands to pristine beaches stretched across the Gulf of Mexico. Now, if you're someone who likes to go out and enjoy the great outdoors, there are plenty of options to scratch that itch within Texas. Now, did I mention it's a family-friendly state? Texas is proud of its family values, and that has seeped its way into practically every aspect of its infrastructure. The low housing rates and the booming economy have played a large part in the influx of new families, and the education system has worked hard to catch up. Now, you know I talk a lot about Texas, but while Texas doesn't rank #1 for the best education system in the United States, Texas K-12 students tend to outperform their California peers in most all aspects. Okay, now we got all that out the way. Now you're probably wondering, where should I move to in Texas? Well, if you're looking for the perfect place to call home, all you have to do is connect with me. In the meantime, check out these other videos that's popping up around me so you can learn more about living in Dallas, Texas. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until the next video, I'll catch you later.